Okay, so this is my model for Motion Capture 2012. I got about 85 to 90% done. I've skin weighted him, I've boned him, I've smoothed him out so he doesn't look so blocky, and pieced them all together. The model was modeled after perspective drawings from these two perspective drawings right here. There's the front and there's the side, kind of right there. Bring that back so you can see it a little bit better. So that was the front and that was the side. And overall I got somewhat of the basic shape down, just as long a process. I lost the kind of slouching position that he has. But each individual component, the head, the arms, the legs, and the body, were all modeled off of a single cube, or I'm sorry, individual cubes. So there's 5 cubes that were used all together, but all 5 cubes were then stitched together at the end, or near the end, to give him the body shape that I was going for. And as you can kind of tell from the perspective drawings, that his arms were kind of down here at his sides, which wasn't a problem for modeling, but for motion capture purposes I had to extend the arms up so that when I start in the T-pose in motion capture, it prevents as many possible errors as it can. And I would say the hardest part throughout this process was trying to get the hands right. Looked at a whole bunch of other drawings as I was trying to model these, and then I just kind of said, you know what, I'm going to go for it, and went for it, and kind of regret saying that because it looks like the thumb's been majorly dislocated by some horrible accident. You know, these guys in Little Big Planet tend to get in a lot of accidents, and it looks like his fingers were stretched out through a series of rollers and pins. Don't know what happened there. But anyway, overall, it was an easy process. I would say the hardest part was getting this skeleton into the model, placed properly. And as you can kind of see here, I do not have a head joint up here. It is a simple extension from the spine up to the neck joint. And the reason I did that was because I did not actually have a real neck to use. And if I would have put in a neck there and extended the head joint up to where the neck joint currently sits, it would have caused more problems during the skin weight phase than I already found out to be. So to show you an example of the problems I ran into, we'll look at his arm first, and if you see here, as I rotate it, several sections on the back and the back of his right leg are affected. Nothing on his left is really affected other than that small area right here. But, oh, crap. Okay, I apologize for that. I forgot I made a duplication earlier for another video purpose. Okay. Alright, now that we're back on track, as you can see, I'm sorry about that brief pause, but as you can see, as I rotate his arm, there's been other areas that have been affected, but rotating his arm in itself is not, like, it was a very smooth transition, I guess, per se, for the normal limits of a rotated arm. If you notice that when I take his arm down, however, his hands, for whatever, like, it's affected here, which is kind of understandable, but over here it somehow got affected on both sides of his ring finger and his kind of an elbow. It looks like his elbow is trying to jump out of place there on both sides, actually. So I don't know why that happened exactly. I went through all the weight joints, made sure everything was weighted properly, as close to as can be, and one of the issues I had, if I can come over here to tool settings, I'll show you. Come over here to skin, edit smooth skin. When I go to click on, let's see, tool settings. See how I have most of these locked? I didn't lock the right side. But if I go here to his left hand index, and well, let me back out of this real quick and get his arm back up so we can actually look at this. Okay. So if I go in here to skin, edit smooth skin, paint skin weight, come over here to his, and I will scroll back down to, I'm going to work on his index hand. Unlock it. Over here, go to replace, set the value back up, scale our brush back down, and we'll do this just to get his finger to be able to move. And we'll make sure that the affected areas will not affect it again when it moves this next time. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. So we'll go to, so we'll lock that back up. Then we will, you know, click on the left hand per se, and go back to the index finger. This is the main issue that I had with working with this model, was the weights were not saving to the model, and I tried numerous things. I tried freeze transformations, tried everything, and it wasn't working. So this was the major issue that I had, was the skin weights were not saving to their proper places or to the changes that I was trying to make to them. So that was my biggest issue in this whole process. Overall, though, I think it turned out pretty good. Just needed to work with the skin weights, and I was going to come in during finals week to have you help me with this, Dr. Partridge, but I guess you were out of town. Hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, please get a hold of me, and I'll see you next semester.